Greetings and welcome, everybody, to a bleary-eyed Beers and Bodyslams podcast. Sitting across from me, the man who will probably do the job for Brock Lesnar too. Good old JB.
Sitting to my left, he actually is the new number one contender, Mr. Fluffy.
And sitting across from me, he's the man that I wish didn't wake me up during the AJ Shinsuke match. Irish.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a little bit different show.
Yeah.
We're not going to crack a beer. We're not going to. We literally just finished watching the 77-hour WrestleMania pre-show, the 76-hour WrestleMania pay-per-view. It's 12:15 in the morning, and we are recording this podcast because A, we love you, and B, we want to go ahead and get this fresh out of our brains. Before I want to hand it off to you, but before I do that, if you had to give an A, B, C, D, E, or F, A, B, C, D, or F.
Well, we got to do the intro first.
We've already done the intro, haven't we?
No, we're yet to tell you right. We'll do that when we come right
back.
This is the Beers and Bodyslams podcast.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
With your host, Mr. Fluffy.
Hello, ladies.
Good old JB.
Booty-O's. They make sure you ain't booty.
And the Irish O'Leary.
There's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. A-A-W-S-T.
This is the only podcast bringing you craft beer and pro wrestling that really matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, D-Generation X proudly brings to you its WWF Tag Team Champion of the World, the Road Dogg Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the new.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Okay. As I was trying to say before.
We tired.
We did have some good, before you get on, we did have, talking about beer, we always talk beer. We did have some good beers during the show.
Yeah.
We had Ellipsis Cryptocurrency, which is a New England IPA from a local brewery here in Orlando.
Yep.
And I cracked out a 2-year-old bottle of Last Snow from Funky
you did.
Buddha near the end of the night as sort of a dessert.
Yep.
We had some Kona Brown that was really good.
Coconut Brown.
Coconut Brown. So we had some good beers tonight. Just I wanted a little beer story in there before we get on to. All right.
We had a lot of food and everything.
Yeah,
we had
some good
We had a great
food.
time. Tonight was actually the reason that I became a wrestling fan. Not just because I like watching shows, because I like to get together with friends and watch it and laugh.
That's how how it was growing up for me. We would all get together and watch these events.
So if we were giving WrestleMania 34 a grade, what would you give it?
Can I grade it before a certain point, or do I have to grade the whole thing?
You have to give it
in totality.
In totality.
C+.
C+. What would you give it?
I actually enjoyed the show. It was long as hell, but I mean,
That's what she said.
From a match quality standpoint, I mean, I give it a C+, B-.
I give it a B-. I give it a solid B-.
Yeah.
And the only reason I say C+, and this is, we were discussing as we were getting ready to record, is up until a certain point, and we'll discuss that point in a minute.
Came off the rails.
I think the show was a solid B.
Yes.
Easily a solid B show, if not a B+, but there was some really good stuff in there.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it took a turn.
Yeah.
But early on we had some great matches.
Yes.
Even the pre-show matches we won't even go into. Oh, by the way, just so we know, JB did win.
Barely.
He was
he eked out a victory.
8-6. I came in second with 4-9.
And I'll be turning in my wrestling podcaster card.
Yeah, it was bad.
I got 2 right.
You got 3 right.
I got 3 right?
Yeah.
Well,
this is the problem is we had this problem last year is we book by our hearts, not the show.
Right.
And WrestleMania is always that show where last year we had the same problem.
Yeah.
We just get it all wrong because we don't think of WrestleMania as a different show. It's a completely different book deal.
Right.
But the show started out great. The Miz, Finn, and Seth, that was great.
Good start. Great start.
Great start.
Everybody got their signature spots in.
Yeah.
The pace was really, really good. The work was solid.
Yeah.
Yep.
The intros, what the hell was Miz wearing?
I don't know.
Why did Seth come out looking like a White Walker?
Yeah, from
and
Game
then
of
here
Thrones.
comes Finn. It's like, I didn't have any budget.
No gimmick.
I just got my jacket.
Just pop my collar.
And I got a lot of friends. Look at all my friends, my Rainbow Finn Warriors.
Oh, it was good though.
Great way to start the show. Back and forth, near falls.
Yeah, it's good.
Could have went, either way. We all pretty much figured either Finn or Seth would take it.
Well, some of us thought Joe was showing up.
Well,
Sorry.
we all stepped out on a limb.
And
at
the
some
winner
point tonight.
was
Seth Rollins won.
Seth
the whole-
Rollins.
yeah, won
Seth
the whole
Rollins.
thing. It was a good match, solid opener.
great match.
Yep.
And this is where they ran into a problem early. Is the second match was the match of the night, which was Charlotte versus Asuka.
By hands down.
Jesus Christ.
By
yeah.
far,
hands down.
best match. Charlotte beats Asuka, defeats the streak, keeps her belt, tapped Asuka.
Made Asuka tap. That's crazy.
But the scariest moment of that whole match was that suplex from the
Oh.
ring apron to the floor, where I swear to God, they thought they killed both of them.
Yeah.
She was tearing up like that.
Oh,
She
yeah.
felt that. Like you could tell she was in pain.
Well, you even watched it back when they showed the replay. You watched her tear up, and you watched Asuka roll into a ball for a
Because
moment.
I think she kind of landed on the back of her head.
she did. They both did.
Yeah, so-
they both. That was not.
It
a good
was
fall.
it was a tough spot, but not only the match of the night. That's the best match I can remember in a long time.
Yeah.
in
That was-
WWE.
We, two things for me. One, in the fantasy world, that either Asuka or Charlotte will actually listen to the show. Kudos. That was independent of a men's, women, mixed. It doesn't matter. That was a great match.
Yes.
A. And B, I foresee it's not going to be very long till they're I believe, unlike our fourth watcher, buddy, I think that's probably within 5 years, they will headline WrestleMania. A women's match will headline WrestleMania.
That's match of the year already, and I don't think anything can top it unless
No.
unless they have a
No.
rematch.
No.
That's match of the year already.
And they won't even cross
No.
paths until next year probably.
No,
No.
Andre Cien Almas and
But they don't.
they don't
talking
count,
about
they
main
don't,
roster,
they don't
like
count
their main-
NXT.
yeah.
That's
I'm
right.
talking
Yeah,
about main
match
roster.
of the year.
That's
Yeah,
match of the
right.
year so far. Next up, we had the United States Championship with Randy Orton defending his belt against Bobby Roode and Jinder Mahal and Rusev. And we were all fooled by this one.
Yeah.
JB thought Randy was going to retain, which was a fair thought, although Randy looked bored as crap.
Randy, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, just retire.
He looked like he was bored just carrying the belt to the ring.
Yeah, like that was beneath him
Yeah.
to be in that match.
Yeah.
It was bad.
He's believing the hype. I'm going to send a box of trash bags over to Randy Orton's house and watch them kick his ass. That'll be fun.
I, myself, and Irish thought Rusev, being Rusev Day,
Rusev Mania, kids.
would win, and Rusev was over.
He got the pop of the night.
But Jinder,
Totes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Jinder won.
Jeez.
Good for Jinder.
Jinder
Yeah.
continues this renaissance
Like I
he's
said,
having.
man, like I can't be disappointed that he won. I was surprised, but
No.
the work that he's put in, he deserves at least a run with that. He would value that title more than Randy.
that
ever
was
did.
that was one match I say, and no matter who won, as long as Randy lost,
Right.
I was going to be fine with
Yeah.
whoever.
I have a theory. When we get to the last three matches, I have a theory about who booked some of this stuff tonight.
All
Keep
right.
moving forward.
But all right. Next up, this match was surprising in its placement. I did not expect the Ronda Rousey, Kurt Angle, Stephanie, and Triple H match to be this early into the card.
Yeah.
I expected a lot.
I think
a
they
lot
didn't
later.
know what to expect from Ronda, so I don't think they wanted to showcase it towards the end in case that she didn't do well, and it kind of killed the momentum of the show. So if you put it in the middle and she doesn't do as well, you can recover. You still have enough matches where you can recover from that.
Well,
and I think that was the mindset. They didn't really know what they were going to get,
and that
going
failed
into it.
miserably because that match was
Well,
actually
I
good.
mean, it was a success. It didn't fail because she exceeded expectations.
No, I'm saying is because the thing is they could have used this match
Oh,
later
yeah.
in the night
Well,
because
if
the
they-
match was this good.
Hindsight, yeah.
If they had switched that match with the Raw tag team,
Yeah.
Oh my
thing,
God, yeah.
would have been a much better
Yeah.
ending to the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this match far exceeded my
Mine
expectations.
too.
Very-
And it went probably 15 minutes longer than I thought it would.
And Ronda tapped Stephanie, which we expected was going to be the finish,
Right.
but you weren't sure at points. And even when she got mixed up with Triple H for a little bit and she was beating Triple H's
She had him in the
ass.
armbar. That was awesome.
And she got him in the armbar, and that was fun. There was no, we expected this match to turn quirky.
Yeah.
Either her turn or Kurt or something happened, and it was just a straight out beatdown.
As much as we dump on Stephanie, I'll be honest with you.
She looked good.
The next time those two meet, it should be without the boys.
Yeah.
Because Stephanie held her own.
She did.
She did
She
really,
really
really
did.
well.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there was a lot of coaching or a lot of, I don't want to break kayfabe too much, but rehearsing with the two.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm
But
sure there
Stephanie was like, every time
She
it
didn't
was
miss
an
any
armbar,
spots.
it was
Yeah.
lock those hands.
Yeah.
And whoever got to Rhonda and coached her to the last move that she did, where she got her shoulder underneath and just lifted straight up,
Yeah.
and looked at Stephanie's hands as they start coming apart. That scripting was beautiful because the camera was right on it,
Yep.
and we knew what to look for.
Yep.
It was great.
It was, yeah.
truly great. It had to be Triple H.
It was really great in the fact that you could tell it was choreographed really well,
right.
but I was surprised of how well Rhonda did picking that up. Like there was no point where I felt she was confused, and that's what I was waiting for. I was kind of watching her match, waiting to see that moment where either she missed a cue
Yeah.
or looked out of place or didn't know what to do next. She was right
But
there with three performers that have shitloads of ring experience. To hold your own and look good in there is really impressive.
We said this when she first signed. I remember commenting, when you're fully vested in something, like you can see the work she's put in.
She's so happy.
You can tell she's like giving 110% to this craft.
Right.
Yeah.
And when she signed, some people thought, it was just, a one-off deal or part-time deal, but she went all in from day one.
Yeah.
And you can see the work she's put in. Kudos to her. Like I just thought this would be a Kurt Triple H match. She get a hot tag, come in, tap Stephanie,
No.
match over. But they really told a great story tonight.
Yeah, they did.
I
Good
expect
job.
this feud to continue.
I hope so.
Next up, we had the SmackDown Tag Team title match. We had the Usos defending their titles against the New Day and the Bludgeon Brothers. This is one we were all split on, and JB's the only one who picked it right with the Bludgeon Brothers in an okay match.
This was a missed opportunity. They should have kept the Usos and New Day apart, and this should have been the first time that they faced each other. And they could have got a lot more out of this
Yeah.
match.
Yep.
We've just seen them fight so many times over the last 6 months. It just didn't have any appeal, and the Bludgeon Brothers haven't done anything for us to get excited about. So it was just kind of thrown together.
Well, we had a parade of pancakes,
yeah, that was
and we had
parade of pancakes.
parade of pancakes, and we had a lot of weird graphics on the screen in most of the entrances.
VR type
VR stuff.
That was it was interesting, but
Yeah.
it was like, okay, that's all.
And then the Usos came out in their best Scarface outfits, I guess.
One
all
was-
white.
I don't know.
One was dressed. One of the guys looked like Miami Vice. The other one looked like something else.
Seeing almost.
Seeing almost, yeah, literally.
I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do with the Bludgeon Brothers now because they've got the belt. So I'm intrigued to see how they're going to hold them and what they're going to do.
Hindsight being 2020, I feel kind of bad for the Usos. I wish they'd allowed them to retain so they could have that WrestleMania moment because
They've never
Yeah,
had
they've
one
never had a
before.
WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
And hey, guys, guess what? You're dropping the belts.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're moving on.
Merry Christmas.
When the shakeup comes around, and I would like to see Authors of Pain come over to challenge the Bludgeon Brothers.
that would actually
Holy
be a brutal
Christmas.
match.
And we can get some new life over there, new blood on SmackDown.
All right. So at some point before this, John Cena was in the crowd. They kept showing shots at him. Then a referee came out, talked to him. He ran back.
Oh God.
He comes out with his full entrance.
This was after, actually, yeah, I meant to say something about that.
Yeah.
That was immediately after the Charlotte Asuka
Yeah,
match.
which was weird. It took away from the
and
Charlotte
it took
thing.
away from Charlotte's
Yeah.
walk out. She just broke Asuka's streak, and John Cena is running through there because it's the most important thing in the planet is John
Yeah.
Cena.
So he comes out and he stands in the ring, and then Elias comes out,
House of the Rising Sun.
which was hysterical.
That's great.
He gets his butt kicked.
As you
Okay,
should.
Cena stands in the ring, starts walking out. The lights go down, and Taker's clothes show up. His laundry shows up in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
His laundry,
Heath Slater put his laundry in the ring.
Delivery service, Undertaker.
and then the Lightning washing service delivered it to the Taker clean. I guess it was that the. I was retired, but now I'm lightning fast, so I'm no longer retired.
magical.
It was
And then we watched the
10-minute walk
45-minute
to the
walk to the ring of the Undertaker. We couldn't have given him last year. They gave him one of those little roller things. Remember last year he was floating because they gave him wheels. This year they made him walk.
Wow.
Well, at least he walked to a squash.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's the thing is, I will give credit to Cena for that. To be told, by the way, you're going to WrestleMania, you're going to wrestle the Undertaker, and oh, by the way,
you'll barely get any offense, and
you're
you're
getting your
gonna
ass handed to you.
I file this under why? Why did we bother doing this? It didn't buy us anything except wasted 20 minutes.
Well, you
of
know
time.
why. They had to keep Cena happy.
And Taker wanted his paycheck.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's for another show. Next,
Next up, we had Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon taking on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. It wasn't a bad match. Daniel looked a lot better than I thought he was going to. He looked clean.
He did.
They took him out early in letting him build that underdog role of having him smacked on the apron and then come back roaring back. Okay, if Shane really has diverticulitis and
he does,
and is
by all reports,
exactly, and this is completely legit. That man is the MVP of WrestleMania.
He definitely is,
because the things he did, the kicks he took, the bumps he took,
the coast to coast,
the slams from KO.
But that's been his
Holy
history.
crap.
He's willing to do anything, to perform and put on a good show. So, I mean, I'm not surprised he did it, but just physically that he was able to pull it off was amazing.
Yeah. But we saw the moment. Daniel won.
Yep.
Got his moment.
So now what happens for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn?
They show up on Raw.
Yep.
They are men without countries.
Yes, they are fired.
And somewhere, some little fanboy's like, Ring of Honor's going to get some good talent this week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
Yet, comrades.
Not yet.
Then we had, actually, we're burning through this pretty well.
Amen. Keep
Let's
going.
go.
Don't jinx it.
I'm not. We had Alexa Bliss defending her Raw Women's Championship versus Nia Jax. It started out as a little comical, the match.
Yeah.
The face-to-face yell was hysterical when Nia yelled at Alexa and Alexa yelled back.
The primal scream of anger versus the primal scream of fear.
Yeah, that was great. A better match than I expected.
Yes.
It started slow, but it picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alexa was a little bit of a rag dog at points, but got some good hits in.
Yeah.
And then pissed Nia off. Although the match started with Nia basically killing Mickie James.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Mickie James.
Holy cow. There's already memes of that out there.
That was awesome.
It was 5 minutes after the match ended, and those memes were already hitting the internet of Mickie James is now dead.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah, and it was a good match. I mean, they were pushing the storyline.
Yep.
She's overcome all these incredible odds and not the comments and all the stuff, proving to people everywhere that you can do your whatever you want to do and you can be happy with yourself. I'm like, that story is great. Not the story that we're telling, but that story is great.
She even gave her the I loved you and all that before she ended her.
I loved you.
I know it did. It reminded me of the Shawn Michaels
Ric Flair.
I love you and I'm sorry, but Nia won. Nia is now the champion.
Crazy, right?
I
saw that coming.
I like Nia. Actually, JB, he's the only one.
Son of a
I like Nia.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's ready for this though.
Doesn't matter because she can be. All she has to do is just keep the belt and be believable, and she can tell a story.
Yeah.
All she has to do is just wait
because Asuka's coming back.
Yep.
Yeah,
Asuka's coming, and it's going to be her and Asuka. Now that Asuka's lost,
she goes back to Raw.
It's going to be the same thing as what happened to Rusev.
Yeah.
Now that there's been a chink in the armor, they can trade some wins and losses because at WWE likes that 50 booking.
Yeah. And this was the point we talked about when we first started the show of this is when it turned.
This is my theory. From this moment on, this is when Vince McMahon booked the show.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Number one, we were getting into the 11 o'clock hour at this point.
Yep.
So I turned on the pre-show at 5. The matches didn't actually start till around 6, the real matches, like the first Battle Royal. So I'd been watching since 5. I admit I was starting to get tired and a little worn out of wrestling. So, but then we had the match we were anticipating the most, honestly,
right?
Which is AJ versus Shinsuke. the match of match. Now, I didn't expect it to be a spot fest, but I expected it to be a tactical war. This was a slow, plotting,
Old school
wrestling
wrestling match.
match with a few near falls, but more lay around and hit your spot more than attack. And I just felt like it just killed all the momentum of the show.
This was a match that this match held so much potential. All you have to do is go YouTube Wrestle Kingdom 10 and Shinsuke and AJ met. And so this is why my theory is the Vince booked this one. I think Vince booked the SmackDown tag.
Yeah, which is
and he booked everything from here through. And I'll be honest with you, I'll go out on a limb and say it. And I know that there's a lot of people who are wrestlers and they think that we're idiots because we're not in the business and everything. But from all the stories that we've been told, it would not shock me if Vince was burying Shinsuke and AJ.
Wouldn't be surprised either because he didn't create either of them. They came in with an allure. And we know Shinsuke came through NXT, so he's automatically one of Triple H's projects.
Right.
And as far as I've also heard, AJ came in because Triple H wanted him.
Right.
It wasn't something that Vince wanted necessarily. So
yeah, this had a lot of potential. It was not them unleashed, and maybe AJ's more hurt than
I was about to say maybe
on.
that injury had something to do with the way they booked it.
but we did have an interesting development.
Yes.
After the match was over, we thought we were going to get the, competitive handshake and the hug and the, we're both great competitors. We got a heel Shinsuke turn. So now we're going to get a heel Shinsuke running around SmackDown.
It should be interesting.
That should be really interesting because he has potential to very quickly become the number one heel.
Yeah.
Because he can be brutal in the ring.
Yeah.
He can cut people down, and he can just go out there and attack. So I'm wondering, I'm almost wondering if he shows up on Tuesday night in full attack mode. It's just burn the house down until I get what I want mode.
And this could potentially help him because there's a lot of people that don't know who Shinsuke Nakamura is because they're, the WWE fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To alleviate some of this, well, he's just an entrance. Well, he's not just an entrance.
Nope.
But now you're going to be able to see, okay, this is heel Shinsuke Nakamura. And you don't want to ever see heel Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's scary.
Yeah. Oh, you can tell he's got a dark side to him.
Looking forward to it. I haven't seen that side, so I'm looking forward to see where they go with it.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Next up, we had the Raw Tag Team Champions. We're the Ba.
Next.
No, we have to talk about this.
No,
Sorry.
we don't. We don't have to talk about it.
No, we do. Braun
don't.
Strowman came out. Number one, Sheamus and Cesaro come out on a float, a Mardi Gras quote unquote float
As heels,
as heels.
throwing beads.
Braun comes out
Pre-used, by
and
the
then
way.
scares off all of the performers who run where I have no idea.
That was funny. That was actually hilarious.
That was funny. Throws their float off the stage.
Hopefully that wasn't a classic float.
No. Comes down and announces his tag team partner is somebody in the crowd and then spends 10 minutes,
Yeah.
I felt like, walking around the crowd looking for one person named Nicholas. He was looking for Nicholas the Kid.
The Kid.
Legitimately a kid.
Who came in, stood on the ring apron, got tagged in once, then tagged himself out immediately. And we watched Braun Strowman dismantle the Ba.
Yep.
So the team that you have built up as one of the best tag teams you have, because they have beaten everybody soundly,
Lost to one man.
just lost to one guy.
Not only that,
Pounded by one guy.
a 10-year-old child is one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions.
I'm afraid he's not. I'm afraid on Monday, we're going to get Braun picking another kid.
Yeah. I'm sure that
This
Vince
kid
is like, what you're going to do every week, you're going to pick a different kid. And it's going to be great.
If this is a Make-A-Wish type of deal they got
That's
going
fine.
on, I can understand
That's
it.
fine.
If this is just them being stupid with this, then this is the dumbest idea
There
that
are
I've ever
so
seen.
many things they could have done. They could have had, early in the show, we had a Mick Foley Snickers commercial. I'm thinking, after this match, You could have had Foley come out. Foley didn't have to do anything. He could have just stood there. You could have had any legend you want. Braun could have called any legend's name he wanted and had them stand by the ring.
Right.
And it would have been perfect. Yeah. If you had seen, Shawn Michaels or Nick Foley or anybody come out.
Hillbilly Jim.
Bring back somebody.
Hillbilly Jim. There you go.
Call up somebody.
Yeah, anything.
Give them an opportunity to showcase them.
Yeah.
Somebody new to there was no shocking returns. There was really no surprise except for the Shinsuke turn.
And guess what didn't happen at this WrestleMania?
No one cashed in.
No one cashed in the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Carmella's the only one got hers left, so.
Huh?
Carmella's the only one that got one hers left. So.
Correct.
So we haven't still no idea where that's going.
Nowhere.
And then we got to the main event. Where Brock Lesnar, the reigning, defending Universal Champion, took on Roman Reigns. And I have no idea what's going on because Brock Lesnar is still champion. Roman Reigns was bloody as hell. And that was a brutal match to watch.
It was brutal in so many senses of the word. Have you ever heard a crowd chant, "This is awful"?
They're in trouble.
No.
They're in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Why you say that?
Your main event at WrestleMania, your crowd is chanting, "This is awful."
Yeah. I don't
That's
think
the lasting impression that's going to be left from this 7-hour show is the two people that you propped up to be the main event of your biggest show of the year, and the crowd, 70,000 people, are chanting, "This is awful." They're not hijacking the show. It wasn't bad up until a certain point.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're in trouble because the guys you want to be the face of your company, people are rejecting. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
And this is the thing is, and I also think it's we were talking about, it was a long show. By the time you got to that point, these people were tired.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying, but you think about it. If the show started at 5, when I turned it on at 5, there were people already in their seats, which means they probably got there at 3.
They were tired, but how many belly back suplexes can you watch?
Oh my God!
Right.
How many F5s can you watch?
I mean,
guys.
like really.
The color, which is what's going to cause the most controversy,
Right.
was the
Bad.
only thing that saved it. Because honestly, I was cleaning up in my kitchen, watching it out of the corner of my eye, until I looked and went, "Holy cow!" and then blood, and then came back in and watched the rest of it because it became brutal.
Yeah. Here's how this pay-per-view could have been amazing. Reverse it. Every match reversed. Heavyweight, tag, Shinsuke, the Alexa Bliss,
Yeah.
Undertaker,
The order.
and then you start doing everything backwards, and you end with the Intercontinental
Oh
title.
my God, it would have been amazing.
It would have been an amazing
Yeah.
pay-per-view, and people would have lost their minds.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess this means Brock to sign a new contract?
Dana White was there.
I don't think it was up until like April or August or something.
Yeah, but I figured
But
they were
there
going to
was
drop it now.
You would think that he wouldn't hold him hostage with it, but I think his contract's through August.
But you,
I want to say.
but you've now
don't quote me on that. But
so who is your next champion? Because you've already ruined Braun with him. He's beaten Braun.
Mm-hmm.
You've now had him obliterate
Roman.
Who are you legitimately going to have take the title off?
that
of
guy
him?
that never had a chance to get a rematch for that, never lost it.
You think Finn?
He has to.
Finn Balor.
He has to.
He's gonna chew him up and spit him out.
He would, but I mean, he's like Joe's not unless he comes back as a face. You can have Joe and Lesnar get after it,
Joe and Lesnar
or
would
you
be
give Roman
great.
another rematch again.
Please
No.
do not do that again.
No.
Where does he go then?
Joe?
No, Roman.
Oh, Roman? I have no idea.
SmackDown.
You keep him face and you have Dean come back and turn heel on him. I don't know. I'm honestly,
I have a hard time believing that they went through all this with him for him not to win the title at some point.
very rarely do we come out of WrestleMania and I say I have no idea where we're going, because usually WrestleMania is the end of things and you start seeing the pieces where we're going.
Right.
Like we said it last year after SummerSlam, I have no idea where we're going. Except SmackDown seems like it's kind of contained. Raw, we have a one man as a tag team champion with a kid. We have a universal champion that shows up when he feels like it. The only solid champion we have is Seth Rollins, who is now a Grand Slam champion, which is a great champion to have.
Right.
Here's the thing.
Beyond that,
Next time Paul Heyman says he's giving a spoiler alert, I'm going to listen to his ass. That's the only thing I know.
why would you read?
No, when he does his promos on Raw,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he said, "This is not a prediction. This is a spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar is going to keep his title. From now
God.
on, I'm going to start listening."
Well, he said before. I guess he tweeted out something even before the show. He said he goes, we're leaving the company with the belt. We're taking it with us. He said, I'm leaving.
From now on, I'm listening to Paul until proven otherwise.
Well, let me ask you this question. There was a story that came out where they were talking about, WWE is going to create some new belts. And I know they did the North American belt.
An
that they did
amazing
for
looking
Which
belt.
looks
NXT.
way better than anything they got right now.
So what if they were to create another belt or two for SmackDown and Raw, mainly Raw, and they have another belt that other people can vie for, a TV belt or something like that, because that's all they could do.
If it's not a TV belt, I don't think anything else would make sense because then you saturate your titles.
You can't have two world titles.
You oversaturate your
Oh,
belts.
sure, I totally understand. But what I'm saying is, the way they've boxed themselves into a corner, we're going to get Brock Lesnar and somebody he's already crushed.
Unless they start the shakeup tomorrow night.
Yeah, but still, somebody name one wrestler he hasn't beaten yet. I mean, he's not going to go against AJ Styles. He's not going to go against Shinsuke Nakamura.
Who could be on the way up from NXT that can jump?
Nobody that side.
Nobody could
wait a
take him
minute.
on.
Well, that's not entirely accurate. They could bring up Aleister Black.
No, they can't. Sorry,
You have to watch the
you
final.
have to watch to find out what
They
happens.
could bring up the big dude that has the
Killer and Dane or
No.
Oli or Lars.
Lars.
Sullivan?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lars could
oh.
come up, but still he's
Could
not
be.
ready.
He's not ready.
No,
But so
Not
I mean,
for
they've
that
boxed
kind of-
themselves into a corner, and they've got nothing for their top guys to do.
yeah,
Yeah.
And this bull crap with the Braun Strowman now.
I guess we'll find out tomorrow.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's honestly, I'm intrigued to watch Raw now because they're gonna have to set a clear, course because. As they did last year, they made this huge push leading into WrestleMania. You get it free with your new subscribers. So you've picked up, and they say every year they pick up all these new people. And
Unless Roman
and
unless this investigation is in the back of their minds, I don't understand why he didn't go over tonight.
He could
There could be
get a
some-
rematch tomorrow night.
I can't. I just have a hard time seeing him going down
Yeah, but I'm
to
assuming-
mid card.
I'm assuming Lesnar will be there tomorrow.
Yeah,
He's
gloat.
already there.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Well, I'm saying he'll stay. He'll gloat.
Yeah.
Sure.
It'll be, he'll be Paul laughing in the background and walking around and la 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 la.
they have an impromptu title match tomorrow, and he drops it.
Could be. I don't know. But why wouldn't you have given Roman that, that spot?
Unless he comes out tomorrow and says, "There's nothing else for me to conquer.
And just
I'm done. Just drop it and walk away.
Oh, sort of like
This belt doesn't mean anything to
do
me."
a Dolph Ziggler and just kind of leave the belt and walk away.
Start a tournament going into.
Yeah, that's the only thing that would make sense.
You could do that for Backlash. You could set up a tournament that runs through Backlash, if not more.
Generate interest in that
Yeah.
pay-per-view. Yeah.
They've done well with the tournaments. I mean, the Dusty Classic was amazing up until, even the finale was amazing on TakeOver, which if you have not seen TakeOver yet, go watch TakeOver.
TakeOver better than WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
it's
even.
3 hours.
crazy.
It's
Crazy.
But starting off, it would. I think WrestleMania had the potential.
Yeah.
Yes,
to
it
be
did.
better, and then it just took a turn. But
Yeah.
your lasting memory from the championship match, your two chants was CM Punk, and this is awful.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what,
no,
that's
TakeOver-
where we're at with that.
And a boring chant did start. It got
Yeah,
washed
at some
pretty quick.
point, yeah.
And then something was going on. I'm looking
In the
forward to the
crowd,
story. Something
yeah.
with several things are going on in the crowd because we're getting
Well,
pops.
it was New Orleans, so
Pops for no reason, and then boos for no reason.
probably
which means
girls were probably flashing for beads or something.
that or somebody was getting escorted in the crowd or something,
Yeah,
or something was
yeah.
happening.
Sure,
I don't
we'll
know.
find
So-
out.
Overall, it wasn't horrible.
No.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't the worst I've seen.
It wasn't as bad as it could have been. There were no moments to me.
No WrestleMania.
No
moments.
WrestleMania moments. Like last year, we had the Undertaker.
I mean,
moment.
Charlotte's. That was the
spot
for me. That was that moment,
Even and here's the problem. This
which
is
they
why I
really
complain.
they didn't play out up enough.
This
to
is
me.
this is why I bitch about it because of what Cena did. Not just because of how
No, well,
why
yeah.
he did it, but Cena they spent that was the focus.
Yeah,
So there was no the streak is broken. There's blah 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 blah
she
blah.
was
blah,
undefeated
blah,
for
blah,
what 400 days or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So and it was just like Charlotte won the match, and then they was never
Yeah.
It's
mentioned
like
again.
boom, hey, John Cena's got an opponent.
Yeah, that was bad.
Like seriously,
I want to make one last statement. I want to make one kind of comparison.
Yep.
And I want to talk about last year's versus this year's, because I think it's an interesting dichotomy of the two WrestleManias. Last year, we were uninterested. No, I'm not talking about the whole thing. I'm just talking about we looked at the card and went, wow, this is not going to be a good card, and it ended up being one of the best WrestleManias in a while.
And we didn't
and
go.
It was amazing. And we didn't go, and it was amazing. And this year we went in going, wow, this card is stacked
great.
and it's amazing. I'm not saying it was bad, but it underperforming.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, it's this weird that a card we weren't excited about blew us away, and a card we were dying for kind of fell.
It's hard.
average.
It's hard for something that you hype up for basically 6 months to deliver on the hype.
But they didn't have, like you said, they didn't have that moment. There wasn't that Undertaker moment. There wasn't that thing.
But here's the thing. It's hard for the main roster to do it. NXT does it consistently.
Yeah.
Every time.
They're hungry.
Yeah.
That's the difference. They're trying to get to where those other guys and girls are.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
It's like when you're working at a job, you're trying to get promoted.
Yeah.
You're going to put in extra hours when the boss wants you to. You're going to do a little bit extra. You're going to work a little harder. Then once you get there, you're like, oh, I already made it. I'm here.
But the thing is the system that they're using down there is working.
Oh yeah,
And it should translate up.
Well,
here.
not even that is
it's a different style.
The different thing was
which is what they were going for.
it was a smaller show. It was only 3 hours. And when you do see it, I know you haven't seen it yet, Irish. When you watch it, you'll see, like we talked about, they missed opportunity to move matches around and make the show. That show to flow. It started out with a huge bang, continued that huge bang, had a small lull in a match, and then a huge bang at the end of that, and then built off of that to the end. Like it had its peaks where you wanted it and its valleys where you wanted it. But even the valleys weren't horrible. They were just sort of, okay, I need to breathe for a second. Let me have my moment to catch my breath.
Plus, it's more of a hardcore
And then blew
fan base
me away.
The crowd energy makes it a better show too, as well.
Yeah, but again, I give it, I'll give it a C+. So, any last words, boys?
No, just looking forward to tomorrow. See what's going.
Monday and
See
Tuesday.
where we're going with this thing,
Or today and Tuesday.
hopefully, hopefully this makes sense to us at some point.
Yeah.
Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bed.
Yes, make sure you tune in Thursday for our normal recap. We'll be recapping Raw and SmackDown because we want to talk about WrestleMania. Hey, that'd be nice.
Okay.
And then we'll be back on Monday for a fun topic. We'll figure something out as we go. As always, do you want to do anything else?
My only,
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, really, my only thing is just an observation that drives me crazy.
Yes.
We watch a 4-hour Hall of Fame show. We watch a 3-hour NXT. We watch a 7 or 8 hour WrestleMania, 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown, and then another hour of NXT. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot in 4.
And we were talking about this but during the match because we were bored, that the bubble that the creative or WWE upper management live in, they think that all we're doing is waiting for the next second to watch wrestling. It's like we all have lives. Like we all have to get up tomorrow and go to work.
Yep.
And this getting done at midnight.
Oh, we
stuff,
have day jobs.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know,
oh.
right?
I have to work in 6 hours.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. It's just the expectation, and I know that we can watch it on DVR, we can watch it on Hulu or whatever, but just after a while, it's just like, okay, it's too much.
7 hours was a long day.
It's too much.
it's a long
It was
day.
too much. So, but good, solid show ish. Had some moments, had some great. I'm not gonna say it was the worst. But we had some fun, and as always, keep your pint glasses full and your body slam stiff.
You've been listening to the Beers and Body Slams podcast. Find us online at beersandbodyslams.com and on Facebook at facebook.com/Beers and Body Slams podcast. Until next time.
Have a nice day.